Hey ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. As always, it is Nick here, back with your daily crypto news and analysis, and today we're going to be talking about Hedera and or HBAR, if you want to call it whatever you want. So yeah, I mean, some exciting things are really happening throughout the market right now. There's a lot of stuff to talk about as well. You know, if we are talking more so about an extended bull cycle, I believe that HBAR does have the potential to hit some, pretty high figures, and we're going to be discussing that. So sit back, relax, and before we fully jump on into this video, I just want to ask you guys to please leave a like on this video. It does help the channel grow immensely. It really does help a lot. You guys have no idea, and it just takes 2 seconds. So if you guys could please do so, I will greatly appreciate it. Now, let's just make sure that we are refreshed. So the overall market right now is kind of just stable with Bitcoin's price. I know that Bitcoin looks fairly bearish right here, but honestly, the market is looking fairly good for some altcoins. And on the 24-hour span, you do see HBAR being the #1 of the top 100 assets, being, a top mover, 21.71% up in the 24-hour span. Overall, I think that this movement is good. It's pretty much showing us that there is a lot of volume also here. In terms of the 24-hour volume, you guys could see that it is up 200% in terms of trading volume. It's absolutely massive. We're going to be discussing that. So, obviously, let's move over to the chart and let's really kind of address this. So first off, the RSI is actually at a point where it was pretty much at before the major drop in price, all the way down to about almost 20 cents. It's pretty crazy to say the least, but overall, when we're talking about this massive amount of volume here, there is a significant amount of volume pouring in. In fact, it's the highest amount of volume since going back to November 11th. So I just want you guys to understand that there is a ton of volume pouring into HBAR right now. Would I say that this is a sustainable pump? I mean, right now the RSI is looking fairly strong. It doesn't look overbought yet. I would more so start to kind of be a little bit concerned once we do break about like 60 to 70 on the RSI. But the volume looks extremely beautiful here. Overall, I do want to see us back above the 35.7 or 36 cent mark. I'm pretty much just rounding up, but it is about like 35.7. But overall, that's the point where I want to see us kind of, break over and get some strength up there. But of course, you can't just look at the overall USD chart. You also have to look at the Bitcoin chart. And in terms of the Bitcoin chart, you guys could see the RSI is hitting some figures. I mean, these are some significant points. This is pretty much high levels going all the way back to September. So right now, the Bitcoin chart looks fairly strong. RSI looks extremely strong here. I'm waiting for this to kind of hit, overbought levels. That's where I would probably look to kind of scalp a little bit if you want to short it. Of course, I never, recommend shorting an asset, but, if you guys are a veteran, do so with what you will. The volume right now that we are seeing is the highest since around the 12th of November, similar to the USD chart. And of course, my levels are on the chart here. The Bitcoin pair actually took quite a big of a hit. In fact, if we do look here on the bottom stage that we hit, we pretty much bottomed out on the July and also even the June low. So that's a pretty significant point to bounce off of, but it looks fairly strong right now. If we can keep this volume up, I think that we could be seeing a fairly good ride on the USD chart. Now, a lot of assets, and I know a lot of people are probably going to be, confused, saying, why are we pumping right now when Bitcoin isn't really doing anything? Well, it's actually pretty significant, to say the least, when you're looking at Bitcoin kind of sitting stable while Bitcoin dominance is kind of dropping a little bit, because we are at about 40.1%. This doesn't mean that we are going into a full-blown alt season just yet, but I did say to keep track on December 19th. I do believe that December 19th was the point to really kind of watch for. I've told you guys that multiple times before as well. I believe Encrypt30 in the Discord also told you guys about December 19th, so right now, things are looking good, and I believe that as we do march forward on into around the end of this month, I think things are going to look a lot better than what we are seeing right now on the charts. Now, I do want to talk to you guys about a few things in regards to HBAR, so let's actually just jump in and talk about these. So we do see here, this goes back to the 16th, so just 2 days ago, and listen closely to Shane Higdon. He is pretty much the CEO of the HBAR Foundation, so listen closely.
We've got to yell from the mountaintops. We have to begin to capture our share of voice in the market, and we're going to be doing that in earnest. Keep holding. It's coming. Next week, I know I'll just tip my hand a little bit. Next week, you're going to see an announcement we'll make with a big name. And so pretty excited about some of the things that are working there. I just can't tell you the name yet, but we're pretty excited about what we're doing.
So next week we're gonna get a big name possibly coming to you know HBAR Foundation, possibly even being a GC member announcement. It could be really anything, but this is getting fairly interesting. And of course, in terms of marketing, I do believe that marketing is on its way. I believe in terms of retail demand, I believe that that is on its way as well. I'm very excited for this. I think that this is a clear sign to me that listen, they understand where their flaws are, and their flaws are essentially realistically, in the idea of not enough marketing. They need more marketing for retail demand. They're going to be doing that, and I'm very excited for that. Now, we also see here, I've been working with Mance Harmon and Lehman Baird for 4 years since Hashgraph. It's amazing how far our industry's come in that time. With blockchain/DLT innovation and adoption, I believe Hedera, fueled by HBAR, is most innovative and will dominate the market in the coming years. I do completely agree with this as well. I actually said this on my Twitter, I want to say last night actually. So yeah, I did. I said, HBAR today achieved network usage of over 2,000 transactions per second and facilitated more transactions in 2 hours than ADA has in over 4+ years. Solana's entire network went down due to a single NFT project, and you are still telling me HBAR isn't a top 5 asset. And it is laughable to say the least because, even in terms of Solana sitting at number 5, right? Does it really deserve the number 5 spot? Does ADA really deserve the number 6 spot? That's what we have to question. I mean, I'm not trying to throw shade towards these assets or hate on these assets. I'm just saying from an overall standpoint, if this was the stock market and these networks were going down due to one single project, or for an example, ADA facilitating roughly 20 million transactions in 4+ years and celebrating it, and then all of a sudden we have HBAR coming in doing 40+ million transactions in just one day alone, hitting 2,000 transactions per second, and that's not even at the tip of the scale point for it. And of course, when we're talking about what HBAR has built, would these two assets actually be ahead of HBAR in a traditional stock market exchange? Absolutely not. So in my mind, HBAR does belong in the top 5. It's going to take a little bit of time to get there, but of course, I am patient enough to wait for that day. Now, with everything in mind, with all these announcements that we are waiting for, and I know that I comment on this in a video recently, but in terms of the lengthened cycle, I do believe that it is very bullish for HBAR. Zepsi already believes that as well. I've commented on this. Now, in terms of what's going to be happening in Q2 of 2022, or even Q1, realistically speaking, there's a ton of things to look forward to. We do see here, imagine being bearish on HBAR. 2022 will be fire. Hello, new GC members. Hello, Smart Contracts 2.0. Hello, developer incentives. Hello, DeFi. Hello, GC use cases. Hello, staking. You haven't seen anything yet. Hello, future. And this is the truth. Like, we have so much to look forward to. Realistically speaking, to me, it doesn't even, I can't even fathom being bearish on HBAR right now. I get it, right? In terms of the price action, right now we are celebrating us hitting like 30+ cents right now. But, in time when we're celebrating $3 plus, does it really matter buying at this price, waiting out this entire price action that we have been seeing recently? Like, for me personally, I was buying all the way back here. So, waiting, let's actually just kind of count the days here. We could pretty much do, the counting of the days, going all the way back to like pretty much January timeframes is where I first bought. Credible Crypto actually put me onto HBAR, realistically speaking, so shout out to him. But, in terms of the days that we've been holding, and I know it might not seem significant for a lot of people, but it's almost been 1 whole year, since I bought HBAR. And I'm patient enough to hodl this until I do see, the true overall potential being met for HBAR, because I know where this is going. I know how big Hedera will become. So, to me, being patient isn't the idea of losing out on other opportunities. It's the idea of knowing what you hold, understanding what you hold, and understanding how big it's going to become. And I do believe that 2022 is going to be the year where HBAR truly does shine. So I'm very patient enough to wait for that to actually happen. Now, also, we do see here big news for Hedera NFT Ecosystem. Heavyweight boxing champion Tyson Fury is joining Mingo apps built on Hedera and has started promoting his new NFT collection coming to Mingo. He made below post on Instagram. Now, with all of this in mind. Okay, I understand that some of these are not crazy NFT platforms. For an example, we look at things like OpenSea and stuff, and OpenSea does get a ton of traction, but also check this out, right? Here's OpenSea. I'm investing in every single half-decent pitched OpenSea competitor over the next few months. Not really digging the featured NFTs on OpenSea's homepage right now, and here you guys have it, right? OpenSea went down. A lot of the problems with these networks, okay, and this is not me being biased and saying, hey, HBAR is the best asset to really kind of build these things on, but I'm just saying, right? A lot of these major assets in this space, Ethereum, Solana, ADA, you look at other, networks as well, a lot of them cannot handle the scale. And it's not me being biased or me saying, hey, these assets are garbage. No, I'm just saying there's a lot of assets that are in the space that are, promoting that they are the best network for this and that, but they cannot handle, being throttled by a ton of scale and, pretty much overall network usage. But Hedera, being Hedera, could do that. We've seen that yesterday when it was hitting 2,000 plus transactions per second. Okay, just imagine, Ethereum pretty much being utilized at 2,000 plus transactions per second, or 88, or Solana. Okay, just imagine how bad that would be. So, in my mind, when we're talking about something like this, when we're talking about, a really good OpenSea competitor, the main one that I'm looking at is NFT.com. I truly do believe that NFT.com is going to be way bigger than OpenSea. Okay? And I've discussed why. It's easier for retail individuals to find it. All you have to do is go to NFT.com, and it's pretty straightforward. In my mind, of course, it's going to rely a lot on the user interface, how easy it is to pretty much jump in and get into it. But overall, we do see I spoke to Jordan Freed last week, bullish on Hedera, bullish on HBAR, bullish on NFT.com, big things coming, and I'm very excited to watch them develop. Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm very excited for HBAR. I really don't care about, the short-term price action. I really don't. Because when we're talking about how big, for an example, NFTs have become, we look at the metaverse as well, because, we do know that Hedera is jumping headfirst into the, metaverse scene. And by the way, just so you guys understand how big, the NFTs or the metaverse scene is going to be, here you guys have it. Morgan Stanley, the metaverse is an $8 trillion market. Yeah, so, when we're talking about HBAR, and we're talking about a lot of these metaverse tokens, again, the whole idea comes into the problem with scalability options, of course, cost per transaction, and also settlement of those transactions. And also, of course, if you want to bring in security, security is also a big problem with, a lot of these assets. So in my mind, asynchronous Byzantine fault tolerance is a big key component for enterprise grade use, as well as metaverse and NFT and even Web 3.0, dApps and overall utility based usabilities. And with my opinion, HBAR will prosper ahead of a lot of these other networks because of the technology behind it. That's why whenever I look at HBAR being, in the number 30 spot on CoinMarketCap, I just laugh at it because it is comical to say the least. But this is also showing us, like, listen, HBAR, what they have built in such a short amount of time is truly revolutionary. That's why, even when we're going back to Mance's tweet here, or not Mance's tweet, Hasker's tweet, Christian Hasker, just so you guys know, when he was talking about pretty much how he joined, the Hedera team, and it's been 4 years, and he's seen how fast this scene has grown. It truly is revolutionary how fast things do unfold. And in my opinion, Hedera, for what they have done in just the span of such a short amount of time from the day that they launched, is absolutely crazy. So with all of that in mind, I hope that you all enjoyed this video. If you guys did, definitely leave a like, subscribe, turn notifications on. If you guys don't want free content, you guys are more than welcome to follow me on Twitter and join the free Discord down in the description below. As always, I hope that you all have a beautiful day or beautiful night wherever you guys are in this beautiful world. It's been Nick. Peace out, guys.